Hi, I am Dr. Tamara Calkins. I have my PhD in the history of science from Oregon State University, and I'm very excited to be teaching this class on climate change in science, history, and climate fiction, or cli-fi. Matt Martinson will be our co-professor, and I'm very excited to be teaching with him. So in this video, I just want to tell you a little bit about the readings and the assignments so that just to give you an orientation for where things are in this class. This is a 6-week course, so it's a bit of a sprint. There's a 72-hour rule. Make sure that your posts are on time, automatic 20% off, 20 points off. If it's late, and then we'll leave it open for you for another 72 hours. But you know what? If you don't get it done, just go on to the next thing. So after that 72 hours, obviously, if life happens and if something comes up, please contact your professors. We want to know how the course is going for you. So read closely. There are a lot of really great readings in this course. You've seen the film Disruption. I was amazed at how much they were able to pack into 52 minutes. And they tried to make it really hopeful by having, the storyline of organizing this enormous march with lots and lots of people involved to raise awareness about climate change. Remember, those people are still involved. So we are not alone. This is a very small class, and I'm super glad that the DHC has decided to run it anyway. But you are not alone. We'll be doing some group projects in this class as much as you like. The climate activism presentations at the very end of the course. It is up to you whether you want to do that on your own or in a group. So if you want to start talking with each other, basically that assignment will be to do some research on a group that is doing something to combat, to push back against climate change, to make things better. And I want to just read you a quote. I have a lot of material on climate change, as it turns out. This is from Elizabeth Kolbert's book, Field Notes from a Catastrophe. It was published quite a while ago. Anyway, she interviews the mayor of Burlington, Vermont. And in her interview, she finds out about a lot of stuff that this little town was able to do. But also, some things they ran up against that require bigger solutions. And so that's one of the tensions that we'll be working with in this class. The mayor told her, well, it would be so much easier if we could say, well, if we approve this one project or this action, the problem would be solved, he told me. But there's no silver bullet. There's no one thing we can do. There's no 10 things we can do. There are hundreds and hundreds of things that we need to do. I'm frustrated, he said, but you need to remain hopeful. So that will be your final assignment, is to look at those places, those hundreds and hundreds of things that people are doing. And that will be for the final assignment of the course. Before that, we'll be making a cabinet of curiosities, and this will be a collection of objects that we can use to talk about climate change and to embody this idea of climate change and how it will be affecting us. And I will put more about that assignment up in a bit. And then we'll also be doing a project, possibly as a class, I'm not sure yet, that will be looking at this Tipping Points website and thinking about how we in Kittitas County specifically are being affected by climate change. And if we don't, we can decide on whether we want to do Kittitas County or how we want to do that. So, and then every week, Mondays, you'll have journal entries due, and Matt will give you great prompts for that. There will be a discussion board, and that will be based on your readings, as mostly your nonfiction readings, but we really want to put together fiction and nonfiction in a way that is generative, in a way that helps us think more richly and deeply about climate change and what we can do. Finally, there will be quizzes each week to help focus our reading and help us think through the important points that we've read, and those will be written by you. So be thinking about questions as you're reading. The first week is Dev and Gracie, and the next week I think is, well, anyway, look through your syllabus, find your name. You'll have 3 opportunities to create questions for quiz and answers, of course, as well. And we will help you with those as needed. Tuesdays, 10 o'clock in the morning, Matt and I will be on Zoom. We'll be there to talk with you, or if you don't show up, we'll just talk with each other. It will be a good time to have some face-to-face contact, and those will be recorded. We hope we'll see you there. Let's see, anything else? Everything will be under the module. There's 1 module per week. First week, the theme was the Anthropocene. The second week is Industrial Revolution, which is, some scientists date the Anthropocene, or that geologic era when people started to make a difference in the climate, to the Industrial Revolution, which is about the end of the 18th century, beginning of the 19th century. So pulling fossil fuels out of the ground to power machinery. And then the third week, we'll talk about the Cold War, which was very important in terms of scientific study of the climate. The fourth week, we will be looking at big data. So how do we crunch the numbers, and what does that mean for having a global understanding of a problem? And that concept of big data actually dates back earlier than you would think. In the sixth week, we will be looking at climate change movements, what people have been doing, what's been effective, what hasn't been so effective. And finally, climate justice in week 6, which is a key piece of climate change. Basically, it doesn't affect everybody equally. And so we'll be looking at that and thinking about how we can make solutions more equitable. So I'm super excited that you are here in this course. Please get in touch with us anytime. We're looking forward to reading your contributions to the class. Read deeply, read closely, process, think, analyze, give yourselves time to take breaks, walk. Walking is really good for thinking. So I wanted to close with a quote by Margaret Mead, which you may have heard before, and that is that never doubt that a small group of thoughtful, committed citizens can make a difference. And that is not exactly right. I'm going to give you the exact quote. Never doubt that a small group of thoughtful, committed citizens can change the world.